Mr. President, I rise to introduce a bill entitled the Service Members Permanent Change of Station Relief Act, or PCS Relief Act. I'm proud to introduce this legislation and thank my co-sponsor, Senator Patty Murray. This bill will provide our service members and their families much-needed financial relief during these hard economic times. Like most families, our service members are pinching their pennies too. Unfortunately, often they incur many unnecessary financial burdens related to their service and their sacrifice. For instance, right now, our service members with spouses and children are only reimbursed for shipping one vehicle to and from Alaska, Hawaii, Guam during permanent change of stations. This means if they get directed to move to a military base in Alaska from Texas, or Texas from Alaska, they must pay to transport a second car themselves, or they must sell the vehicle or purchase a new car at the next location. This can be a costly option. However, many military families cannot afford to ship a second vehicle or purchase another car. Without a second vehicle, spouses and children who accompany a service member on a permanent change of station move may be unable to hold a job, run daily errands, or otherwise participate in their new community. Many states have large military bases, like in Alaska. Joint Base Elmendorf and Fort Richardson in Alaska is one example. With housing on one end and base services on another, some families cannot even get to the grocery store or take their children to a doctor in an emergency. Colleagues, it is unacceptable that we put our military families in a position where they have to make choice between an inability to meet daily needs and take care of their family in an emergency, or pay the $1,500 to ship a second vehicle. So under the PCS Relief Act, our military families will be able to ship a second car to and from Hawaii, Alaska, and Guam to ease the hardship and alleviate needless costs. To further alleviate needless costs, the legislation will increase the gas mileage reimbursement rate during a permanent change in station. Currently, when our personnel drive from one military base to the next on their government-directed move, they are reimbursed less than half of the amount they get under temporary duty assignment. The temporary duty reassignment rate reflects the true cost of operating a vehicle. The current PCS reimbursement rate of 16 cents per mile does not create yet another financial burden for service members. It doesn't make any sense that the gas mileage reimbursement rates are different amounts for PCS and TDYs. Our service members get official orders to move. It's not optional. They are both official business expenditures. We already ask so much of our service members and their families. They are fighting two wars. They move at the military service's direction, relocating themselves and their families to new military bases every few years. It's unfair we are asking them to pay out of pocket on the government-directed moves. Or experience unwarranted and pointless hardships due to financial constraints. In these tough economic times, it is more important than ever that we show our support for our service members and their families. Relieving stress and strain during a permanent change in our station is the least we can do. I ask my colleagues to support the Service Members PCS Relief Act. Mr. President, I yield the floor.